and this man just tweeted it out 6 minutes ago.
What did he just tweet out?
NFL season with the Cowboys and the Eagles in the opener kicks off in 50 days.
I hope he was listening and picked that up. No, he probably has his own countdown clock.
Schefter, good morning, man.
The 60-year-old teenager and 30-year-old senior citizen, I think that's outstanding.
Yes, and
it really is.
It's how we live our lives,
and it's
Schefter.
true. Adam, it is true. It really is. We are, even though we have a lot in common, we do have a lot of common DNA, but that is one of them. So, yeah, 50 days away. I have my little countdown clock where I put everything on so I look ahead to events and everything, but 50 days today did mean something to me. We're all excited that next week we'll be talking at, Nick Sirianni's press conference after you next week, his first press conference to open up the Eagles training camp, and we're excited about it, even though we know camp here is more like Club Med. But it certainly has worked. His approach has certainly worked well for the Eagles.
Yeah. Listen, you can't argue with the results. They are the world champs, the defending world champs. He knows what he's doing. He's got the extension to prove it. He's got the trophies to prove it. And they have the ring ceremony Friday this week. Big day for the Eagles.
Yeah, it's awesome. We'll be celebrating that. Schefter, in the previous segment, we were talking about being patient at the beginning of the season. So last year, before the season started, John and I were going to be more patient with the defense, less patient with the offense. Connor and our man Andrew DeCecco, who covers the Eagles, were the opposite, where they were more patient with the offense than they were with the defense. Going into a season, when you have a new-look defense like the Eagles do and returning 10 of 11 starters on offense, where would you fall in this conversation?
Well, the offense is why would I have to be patient there? Like, I expect it to just come out and shine. Like, why would they start slow? There's no reason for the offenses to. Maybe they will, but there's no reason for that, correct?
There shouldn't be. The only danger is you've got a first-time play caller in Kevin Patullo, who's never called plays, who's been in the NFL 18 years, and nobody has ever tapped him on the shoulder and said, you know what? That's the guy. That's the guy we need to call plays for our organization. And that concerns me big time because most of the time, and I looked at the play callers in the NFL, most of them wait an average of 5 or 6 years on an offensive staff, sometimes 7, before they get to call plays. It's a long time, 18, to be around.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I guess there's a learning curve. I guess the way that I think about it is just that the quarterback is experienced. The running back is as good as there is. The wide receivers have been there and are great. It's a great offensive line. I know there's a new OC there, but there's so much talent that he can learn on the fly while they're still producing. I think maybe I'm going to be wrong there. Maybe I'm giving too much credit to the players and their talent. And if they start slow, I guess that's going to dial up the pressure on the offensive court. I just think they're a machine, and they should keep rolling. That's how I view it, and we'll see whether that's right.
Schefter, your colleague Jeremy Fowler does his annual coach, executive, and scout poll where it's top 10 position by position. And I know that you guys have talked about this on the network. Jalen Hurts coming in at number 9. The reason why I value this top 10 list is because it's people that are inside the league. That it's not just people that cover the league. It's guys that work for the league. I'm curious, in your conversations with people over the years, how was Jalen Hurts viewed? Because the guy wins, but he still gets, I don't want to say disrespected, but the guy is still considered a top 10 quarterback, which is great, but way in the back half of that top 10. How is he viewed around the league?
As a winner. As somebody who has essentially taken them to 2 Super Bowls in the last few years, basically played as well, if not better, than Patrick Mahomes in both those games. Had the one fumble in the first Super Bowl, led him to the victory in the second Super Bowl. What was he? He was 9th in that poll. Listen, Jeremy Fowler does good work, and I got no issue with that. But that to me is that's show fodder for July 14th. Like if that story's running on July 28th when teams are in camp, I don't think anybody's going to be talking about it. So I come up in this spot here. But because it's July 14th, and really the only players in camp so far are the Chargers rookies, and we're just kind of counting down the days till the start of camp, That's a great topic.
Well, it is a great topic, but I'm just curious because it's not from your colleagues at ESPN. He just does the write-up. It's the coaches, executives, and scouts. So that's why I'm curious, like, why is he so low? If he's viewed as a winner, is it just certain intangibles of his game?
Listen, first of all, I wouldn't agree with that. I'd have him higher. That's me. They didn't ask me. That's number one. But number two, I don't think it's so much as what he doesn't do as it is the respect they have for some of these other quarterbacks. That's obviously not as much for him. Like, the top four, I don't think anybody in this league would argue about. I don't know the order. Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Burrow.
Right.
Like, those are the four best. I think everybody would agree on that. And then the question becomes, okay, who would you put number 5? I think in that poll they put Jalen Daniels. I understand it. I understand it. I got it.
I'm baffled. Like, it's because it's based on. Then you're basing it all. Then they're basing it all. These are guys who do this for a living. They're basing it all on projections and what they think might happen, instead of
what did happen.
Instead of based on what they saw in their own eyes, what Jalen Hurts has done the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Listen, you're preaching to the choir.
I know that.
Right. So, I don't put much stock in polls like this. Not because of the work that they're just some opinions. I don't know who he spoke to. I don't know whose opinion that is. I don't know if it's some assistant to the personnel executive, if it's a GM, if it's some head coach of the group. I have no idea. So why am I'm not trying to demean that story. It was great for that day. But why do I care?
I'm going to tell you right now, I told you last year during the summer. I haven't made my bold season prediction thing that I did last year where I said the Eagles would be in the NFC Championship game. And I told Andrew and Connor that they were going to have to work on NFC Championship game as they host pregame.
Right.
But I've got one for you. The Eagles-Commanders game on the last game of the season is going to mean nothing to the Eagles.
Yeah, you said that before.
But I'm now going to go bolder.
Yep.
The Commanders are going to flame on these high expectations. Flame. They are not going to meet these expectations of the Commanders being one of the teams that is going to be atop the NFC. I'm telling you right now, just remember it, July 16th, they will not meet those expectations.
Well, I'll say this to you. They had a magical year last year. Everything went right. There weren't a lot of big injuries. The schedule's tougher this year. Nobody's going to be surprised by them. They're not creeping up on anybody. There's a lot of things that they'll have to overcome. And Jaden Daniels very well might be good enough to do it. But, it's a different year, and we'll see how it works out. Your prediction wouldn't surprise me.
And they're older. They've gotten older. They went out and took a team that instead of getting younger and ascending, they got older. They went out and bought at a place for mom. Instead of getting younger and fresh legs, which is the Eagles model, they went out and got older, which I don't like that model.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that model gets you so far, right?
Yeah, that could be.
Now, speaking of the Commanders, Schefty, updates on Terry McLaurin. I know there was a story earlier this week about how he's frustrated. I think we talked about this a few weeks ago when he first held out. You felt pretty confident that they would work out a deal at some point just because he's the number one weapon for Jalen Daniels. Are you still feeling that confident, or could we see something unfold with McLaurin and the Commanders here?
Well, as I said to somebody in Washington yesterday, a concerned Commanders fan, deals get done when they have to. I noticed Terry McLaurin said we haven't spoken in 30 days. And he has a right to feel slighted by that. But I would say that, look, the Jets got deals done with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner the last 24 hours or so. But this is the time where teams and people in the league like to just kind of slow down and put it into and kick back. The fact that the Commanders and Terry McLaurin haven't spoken in 30 days, interesting. But I would say if they don't speak in the next 10 days, and I'd be really alarmed and concerned, the 10 days ahead mean a lot more to me than the 30 days where most people were on vacation. So let's see what happens. And as I said to this concerned Commanders fan who works at ESPN yesterday, deals get done when they have to get done.
That isn't that Scott Van Pelt, is it?
Deals get done when they have to.
Shefty, we appreciate the time as always, man. Can't wait to talk to you again next week. As John mentioned, you'll be the lead up to Nick Sirianni's first press conference of training camp for the 2025 NFL season.
So shouldn't I be like the MC that introduces him for that then?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, very well. It's good. So
we'll have you record something, and before he starts talking, we'll play it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Sirianni.
Let's definitely do that. Okay,
all right, that sounds good. We'll do that next week.
We'll use that. We'll have a preview.
Absolutely. Thanks as always, man. We'll talk